the second session of our training for the trainers for the July workshop with new teachers, New Teacher Academy. In this session we're going to look at organization and how to organize classrooms and your lab spaces, as well as other things that need to be organized within the room. The participants will be looking on page 17 through 19, and within that they will be looking at seating arrangements, wall space, which would include display space and bulletin board type things, as well as lab space. With that, you will need to look in your instructor's guide and go through these questions over here and have them kind of look at and list out on either a whiteboard or on a big tablet some of the things, concerns that they need to be thinking about as far as organizing their classroom. In your instructor's guide, they give you a nice list of those things that they should be looking at, so if they don't bring something up, it'd be something you might add for them to think about. But you want your room clean and organized. You want to look at how the students are seated. You want to be able to know if they're working together, if they're working independently. Is there a focal point in the room? Podium, whiteboard, pull down screen, whatever. Is there some place where they're focused? In the lab, is it a real world setting of some sort, or is it more of just a training area type thing where they're learning basic stuff? Even how does your tools storage or your equipment storage, and different display areas for static information that you don't need to be telling them every day, but you may refer to it as the year goes along. But kind of make a list of those things and go over that with them. From there, then you will need to look at classrooms, and I would recommend that you would take time to take some pictures of your classroom and maybe others around you, as well as your lab areas, and insert them into this PowerPoint and show them some of the things that you've done to overcome obstacles in your room, and how you've put things together, how you've done seating that works for you, and how you've arranged your lab, knowing and letting them know that these things change. I mean, classroom settings change based upon the students you have and their behavior and everything else. So those things may change quite a bit, and even throughout a year. And then labs, they will change also. I mean, you're always looking for the perfect classroom setting, the perfect lab setting, and changing to meet different needs or different equipment that you might purchase. So look at those settings and techniques that have worked for you, and kind of show them to the students, and any others that you can grab pictures of people that in different ways and different things that they're doing within their classroom. Spend a little time now working with them to organize their classroom. If you have a chance to communicate with them before they come to this, ask them to take pictures or sketches of their room, of what's in their room, where things are at. A lot of people nowadays take pictures of everything with their phones, so they may have already gone into their room as they were hired and taken pictures of everything. So pull that out, have them get some paper or graph paper if you have it, and have them sketch out what their room, what their lab looks like, and then kind of brainstorm with them the best way to lay out their room, and kind of look at some of them individually and how you can help them solve some of the different problems, possibly even with entrances, exits, any hidden spots. Look for some of those problem things that you've learned to look for in a classroom, places where kids could hide or be out of sight, and you want to be able to have the best vision of everything that's going on in the classroom. So kind of help them lay and plan out their room as best you can. If they do not have them, they haven't been in their classroom or anything, offer to help them later on, to where maybe they could email you a sketch of what's going on with their room and thoughts and ideas, or contact you in some way, and you could help them with possible layout or solutions to problems with their room, because every room is different and unique in its layout and how it's put together. But I'd like for them to walk away with some sort of an action plan from the day's work of items they need to address in their own classroom when they get back, and things that they need to start looking at as far as working on their classroom or setting up their classroom for this new school year. One of the things before we even get into the day 2 material here that they would need to consider or look at is that of a classroom seating chart. And it's just a good habit to get into, to use that, especially to start the year and get it going. It helps in several ways. One, it gives the students confidence because they know where they're supposed to be and where they're supposed to go when they enter the room. And it helps you get to know their students, so gives them a chance to know who they are and work on them, and not just have to learn their names by those that are always in their face or those that are in trouble, and they get to know them quicker. So you want to get to know all your students, not just selected few those, and it makes them feel better if you do know their names. And it's always been my downfall is remembering names. I can remember a lot about people, I can remember conversations, I can remember places and things, but can't pull their names. So it's always helped me to have a seating chart that I can look to, especially the first few weeks, to get their names down to where I know all their names and work with them. The day 2 lesson here, once again, remember, change if you need to. This is not something set and pat. The lesson 2 is something simple again. It's just basic problem solving method. If you do not deal with that, or if you look at it and say it's not complete or correct for how your area deals with problems, or how you go about solving different problems as they arise within your work areas, then change this, make it different. There's a lesson plan and a PowerPoint to go along with it. Change them if they need to be changed. That you don't have to keep them the same way they are. Also, with this day 2 lesson is an information sheet. Originally, the information sheet was created for gathering information that would then in turn be given back to the State Department of Career Tech as far as student information. And a lot of your tech centers and your large comprehensive schools now will collect that information for you, and you don't have to do that as much, and they'll submit it for you. Mine, I still use it, but I've adapted it over the years to become more of a classroom application, a more real-world thinking of they're going to have to apply for jobs. They're going to have to be able to fill out and fill in applications, and how's the best way to do that, and what's going on beyond that. Once again, this is just ideas for how to do this. You can add things to this, take things away, change them. And if you have something similar that you use in your class to get information about your students, feel free to put that in here and hand this out to them instead of this. There's also a PowerPoint that goes along with it. Use it or don't use it depending on how you think it would work. And feel free to change it if you need to and add things to it. But make it work for you. It is a good way of getting to know your students and know different things about them, as well as that gets you a little more personalized with them as far as things are going, because you'll be giving them some personal information about yourself also. Hey, this is session 2. We'll be looking for session 3 next.